Hey, welcome to Late Night with Larry. I'm your host, Larry D. We're doing it here once again for you. I'm here with my co-host, Vince. Vince, give me a shout out.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Larry D Studios. Hoping to rebrand shortly, but for now, we're stuck in the ghetto.
That's right. We are here.
No, that's a joke.
But, you know, it's by choice because we're both well-educated. We've seen the world. We know how to play the game on the world stage.
I got me a 5th grade education.
That's right. And we choose to stay where we are because it brings us down to people like you.
No, we're humble with our life. You know, we both have good jobs, but, you know, don't go to our head. We help who we can. We help our kids when we can, but, you know.
We do, but that's beside the point. Anyway,
No, that's not beside the point because my point was we want to have alien kids.
Oh, you see, I jumped the gun. Yeah, I want a couple little grays before I die.
You want a catacomb full. No,
fuck it.
I'm just joking.
I'll get it.
But that's going to bring us in when we're going.
Right.
But before we go there, how can they get a hold of us?
I'm going to tell you right now. You do it at emailing us. Same old email as we said before. Late Night with Larry55@gmail.com. That's how you do it. Or you could hit our new email, which is cryptidcrossroads505@gmail.com. Now, we've told you guys we're coming over to Cryptid Crossroads, so it's hard work.
It's just more than we thought, but we're trying to do it right.
And those of you that say it's not hard work, I could do in a minute, reach out to me, huh?
There you go, because my brother's pretty savvy. He's a college kid. I'm not a college kid, and all my technology knowledge comes from my kids.
So and half of it is I got to work. I got to feed my family. But the part-time, we're getting there. We are set there. All I need is some, let me just say, marketing material, and we're good.
Right.
We're golden. And on that note, we just want you to join us tonight because we want to talk about a topic that I was telling my brother off camera. I got introduced to a topic that I never thought I knew it was out there, but I never thought I would be thinking about it seriously.
Right.
And that topic has to deal with not only grown men, but teenage kids up to your adulthood, even to your senior years, getting abducted and having sex with aliens.
Interspecies breeding, maybe we could call it that.
That's what they call it.
Yeah. No, I've that's one thing we've heard about abductions from back in the day. Mm-hmm. We've always heard a lot of alien stuff. It's always been on the table. When we were younger, we kind of just blew it off, you know, because it just was what it was. And even when we were younger, hearing about the Roswell crash, I just kind of blew it off, took it with a grain of salt. Yeah. But when you had some kind of experience like I've had, the things that happen to us, it kind of opens your mind to other things. And then you start thinking, you know, we have people in our family who've had a UFO experience, not abductions, but, you know, sightings and, close sightings. So that opens your mind. You're like, you know, I know he wouldn't lie about it. And, you know, we've had pictures from family members.
No, we have.
Now, now I know no one in our family is wealthy enough to do CGI. So those are the real deal. But my point was, when you start having other experiences, you stop and you think, and it opens your mind. You're like, well, if this is possible, you know, I can't knock somebody for, you know.
Right. No, I get you. And I didn't knock him, but this documentary I watched, and it kind of solidified what we've been saying all about, the aliens. If they don't want to come to this earth and destroy the earth through warfare, which thank God they're smarter than that, their program is to let's breed them out. Didn't we say that? Breed them out.
We did, and when I talked about us seeing the alien stuff taken with a grain of salt, but that's one thing. All these abductions you rarely hear about is the breeding thing.
So the thing is, truly, let's breed them out. Let's start with the space program where we abduct people. worldwide, different genealogies, different races, different cultures, and we start hybriding children so that they could commingle up in space, so that when we finally do start walking among you, and I think they're already at that point. I believe
they already are.
Because they've had millions of years to do it. They are at that point, and they walk among us. They're the smartest, the brightest. They call the shots. They're the ones who eventually will rule this earth, because we don't have the smarts to do it, but they do.
You know, you just mentioned how there'll be a walk. They're already lost my train of thought there.
Right.
They're already walking amongst us.
Right.
But have you noticed, like, the brightest people? Well, not always, but a lot of times the brightest people are like these pale, unhealthy people.
Yes, they're like aliens.
Boom.
Pale skin.
Now, we were driving downtown, was it a couple weeks ago? And we saw somebody downtown, and he looked like a freaking alien. And I told you, see, they walk amongst us.
He did.
Now, did he not look like an alien?
Poor guy.
He just looked different, you know, even his arms.
He was pale, protruding belly, sunken in chest. I was like, oh my God, he's the picture of a gray alien.
It looked like E.T.
Yes. Poor dude. If you're listening, I apologize, but poor you.
Yeah, no, but we're all in denial.
Right.
You know, because if somebody says on another podcast, I saw these two guys driving in a truck drinking Coors Light. They're all fat and bald. We're not going to think they're talking about us, because in our mind, we still look like a Greek god, you know?
Right. No, I get it.
But anyway, back to the subject. Now, the documentary you saw,
right.
This guy was in a breeding program for a while.
That's what it seemed like it was. It was a breeding program. And at the end of the program, he really did divulge why they picked him. He was not sure. And after meeting him and seeing his documentary, I'm not sure why they picked him either. There was nothing special to him. He's not athletic. He's not built. I mean, even in his youth, those weren't his characteristics.
Right. And what we talked about off camera is maybe they picked him because of that. Maybe. Because we've talked about like these super athletes, these even super smart people, where there's a lot of success, there's also a lot of arrogance.
Right.
Whether, you know, it's I don't know. I guess when you have all that, the world handed to you on a platter, it's kind of hard to stay humble when you could have anything you want.
It is, especially from a young age. Even like let's take LeBron James. As a teenager in high school, they recruited him. He didn't have to go to college to get where he's at. He went straight from high school because he had such athletic abilities, and he was so, you know, he was basically a teenager in a grown man's body playing basketball.
Right.
And that's why they recruited him. And yes, he developed his body more to become bigger, stronger, faster, but that only lasts so long.
Right.
And yes, the whole time that he was growing up, I guarantee he was cocky.
Right. Just because of that.
Just because he stood out amongst everyone else.
Right. And, you know, I want to say smart kids are not usually cocky until you're with them one-on-one and they're like, you don't get this.
No, they're not. But let me tell you this. Where would someone super athletic like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Blake Griffin, these players that are like just on the court were unstoppable. Where would you be without these nerds that do mathematics?
Right. For one, there wouldn't be a TV to put you on TV.
For us to watch you. Thank you.
Right.
So you'd still be playing in your hometown on a dirt lot making slam dunks.
Right. But back to the documentary you watched about the breeding program. Right. Tell them a little bit about what he experienced through the years. And he actually had one breeding partner.
He did. So his story is through the years. As he was a young child, he would get notifications from either the gray aliens, the hairy man, which I'm like now thinking, was that Sasquatch? But it was a hairy man, the gray aliens, or the what they called the praymantis one. And anytime they would call him, he would hear their voices and they call him to the woods or behind the barn, but they would get in touch with him. And for a while, they just got him acclimated to being on a spaceship, being around them and whatnot. But one day when he was a teenager, he had just hit his teens, he was out walking around and he heard his name called. And the one calling him, she was a female alien and her name was Crescent. Well, Crescent was in the process of luring him to her because she wanted to initiate, I guess, the breeding program with him because he was a young teenager and that's the first time he had sex. He lost his virginity, according to him, to an alien. And that was her motive.
Right.
From the time he was a teenager to maybe his late 30s, that's all they did is contact him for sex. I'm like, what a lucky guy.
No kidding. Now, he mentioned he don't know why they picked him because he was really a nobody. Now, let's flip the script here. The Crescent, the female alien, how did she get picked?
Who knows?
She's probably like, look, why me?
No, who knows? But she was the one that was picked to have.
Or, they may have something going on genetically with their race where they're trying to fix it. So it could be like here, like, those of us who love our country, sign up to defend it. So it might be something like that.
Well, look, if you put it that way, we know their technology is beyond ours. Maybe they can choose us according to our DNA sequence and our vulnerability to whatever they may think is a disease or whatever they think it is.
Right.
So they could look at our DNA strand and compare it to like maybe his and say, perfect match. We don't care what you are.
Right.
Your DNA matches to solve our problem. Perfect.
Right. And maybe that's why they haven't picked us. They say, all we need is a space trunk.
No, they look at us and they're like, right? Like these guys will drive us through space.
Right. And they'll be like, we go to that bar in Star Wars. These guys are going to start a fight.
Not only that, they're going to try and poke that girl with 3 breasts.
No, we're going to succeed. No, but on a serious note, it's something to think about. And
it is.
Now continue with the story. Now they were calling on him for sex for a breeding program. And, I told my brother, do they have eggs? What do they do? What's a gestation period? And tell him, tell our people, the next part about when he went through the portal.
Okay, so my brother's right. So he's, having all throughout the years of his youth and, he's a young teenager. Of course, young teenagers are going to screw anything, a snake if you hold it still, because the hormones are raging. But he went through that period, and even as he's a young adult, one night he got restless, and he got restless because Crescent, the female who's to breed with him, she came to him telepathically and said, our child is dying, our child is dying. And he immediately got worried, saying, what do you mean, our child? I don't have a child. So she telepathically told him, you do. You have a child with me. So, and she showed the child to him. And that's when he got worried and real concerned, saying, this is my child. He had a connection to it, whether it was given or not. There was the connection. And as any father knows, when that child's born, if it's yours, you got that connection. Bottom line.
Right.
He had the same connection. So he couldn't get to the other side. And when he wanted to go because the child's dying, Crescent said, you can't come, you can't come. His words to her were, watch me. He went to his bed, laid down, and made himself unconscious, went to sleep, but crossed the portal. And he showed what it looked like when he crossed the portal. His bed's empty. There's a hole. You see his room. And then it closes. So he filled us in on that too. But the premise of the story here is when he went through the portal, he saw his child that was dying. He said he didn't know what to do at first, but then he thought, the alien and the ruler alien on board the ship was telling him, you can't be here, you can't be here. He's like, no, I'm already here. I know how to get here, so I'm here. Bottom line is, when he saw his child dying, he didn't know what to do other than to reach out and touch it. Once he did that, he said it was like a transfer of energy to his child, which is a hybrid alien human being. Life came back to it. So when they saw that he did that with that child, they took him into a bigger room, which is a catacomb. He walks into the room, and against the wall are many children in catacombs against a wall. And when he said, look, I just saved my child, whose children are these? He said, the alien who ruled the ship there, who was in command, with the bump in the back of the head, which looked like an antenna, pointed to him and said, they're yours. So he sat there for a while, thought about it. And then, without a reasonable doubt, he commenced to go through the whole catacomb, touching each child, giving it life. Now, if this is a true story, it's a hell of a story.
Right.
And if it's not, because this story leads me to believe this man went on board an alien craft which housed all his children, which supposedly they tracked him from the time he was adolescence till today. They've recently just said, you're an old man. They have no use for him anymore. They're going to allow him to die on this earth.
They don't know about Viagra.
Right. But he did say if they were to pick him up and give him a choice to do this over again, he would do it without a doubt. Without a doubt. And he says the reason is it gave him so much happiness.
Right.
And they said if you were to leave this earth and the earth was dying, would it hurt you? He said, no. If they were to take me on board the craft and keep me in space as they live, I would not he wouldn't care about the earth. And he said the earth is already dying, like you were talking about.
Is it dying, or are we killing it?
We're killing it. And that's what they told him too. We're killing this beautiful planet.
Right.
So once we kill it, no one will probably visit it because it's going to be a dead star.
And that's why I think the aliens are visiting us, and there's not a lot of contact. They're watching what we do.
Right. Now, when I say it's going to become a dead star, I don't mean to burst anybody's bubbles, because some of you out there may be religious and you know what the Bible says about that. You're saying that'll never happen. Maybe it won't.
Right. The truth is, we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't.
And the honest to God truth is, we don't know what really happened before us.
And we don't. But my thing is, if these things are truly recognized, flying in the air, doing this and that, and they come and talk to me today, I'm going to pay attention to what they have to say.
Right. Because if they're here looking at our planet, our resources, what happened to the planet they're from?
You hit a good point, because they're thinking, and I read articles where they're saying, these things are in the air more and more. We didn't want to admit it. We kept it from the American public, but now that it's out, they're saying they're over us more and more, and they're like, is it a national security issue? Because they're above us watching what we do militarily.
Right. And like one of the senators said, they're in restricted airspace and we can't do a damn thing about it.
Right? And General said they're above us watching what we do militarily. So they're either looking at us and saying, oh, you poor, sad souls, you have no idea.
Now, is there a point where there's an intervention where they're going to say, you know what, just stop. Just stop.
I think it's when the first nuclear missiles are launched. First IBCM.
Yeah.
I think.
Now we've already seen they have the technology to shut down the missile silos.
Look, and there's two options. They're either going to say that's it, we kill it all. It's null and void. That one's done. No more go. Or we truly have an Antichrist on the earth, and it's going to go full blast. And maybe he was part of the UFO deception.
Right. Who knows?
And if it goes full blast, it'll be exactly like the Bible said.
Right. But if these aliens are truly from another planet, maybe a dying planet with hopes for ours, they have the ability to stop it. We've seen it.
Reach out to us. Let's talk.
Right. No. Then you've read the stories about how they shut down missile sites.
No, I've watched videos. I even watched videos of where they truly interfered with missile tests.
Right.
For weaponry, and I was like, holy shit, I did see that. I saw that. Shoot it, boom, boom, boom. And the way that UFO moved, come on.
Now, if I was in a high position and they contacted me saying, while you hear the stories, you're doing things wrong, you know, your technology's headed in the wrong way, I would tell them, work with me. If, say, I was a president of the USA, work with me. Show us the direction we need to go through. But on the same token, not everybody on Earth is going to be on board. So if we go totally like, say, we kill our military, all our weapons.
Right.
You protect us because we're going to be sitting ducks.
Here,
we'll follow. We'll learn what you teach us, but you protect us until they're on board.
But listen to this. That's a good theory, but come on, man. We know the human nature. People are like, show me this. They're going to use it against you.
Right.
You know that. I know that. Now, I when I was younger, I had a lot of faith in mankind. As I get older, I really diminish. I'm like, man, why can we not all live as a human species on this earth? I'm like, seriously.
But see, that's weird because I still believe it's our government pitting us, everyone against each other. Because you and I have both been to foreign countries, and we've met the locals, and it's just like they welcome you in. Like I've said earlier, there's no better way of getting to know a different culture than having a meal with them.
No, it is, and
but
you're
they'll
right.
invite you in and.
Look, I want to stop you right there because we both have experienced that.
Right.
Yes, and you're right. They take you in and they don't care if you're American. They treat you like you belong to their country.
They treat you like we're all humans.
But here in this country, we become of an entitled country to where we look at foreigners and we spit on them.
Right.
We really do. We're like, you're a fucking burden and you don't belong here. Which I get it because they come here looking for that beautiful American dream. Right. And we got to support them with Medicaid, Medicare.
But see, the thing is, there's a right way to come.
There is.
Now, I believe in protecting our borders because, you know, these people who want a better life, come on, use the right way because we have to close it because there's people who want to come in and kill us and
right.
Terrorists.
We got all that, but hold on, this went off on a total different tangent. I'm gonna bring it back on but it falls in the same thing as aliens who come to this earth, initiating a breeding program. Now, like I told my brother, I don't know if I'd really give a fuck if I was in a breeding program. I'd be like, whatever. But for some reason, why they choose the ones they choose, they do. And I get it. We talked about it. It's they don't want the Michael Jordans trying to have babies in space because you're going to get these kids that are entitled,
right,
and have a chip on their shoulder
just because of who their parents are.
Right. Now, let's take this even further. If they were to take Michael Jordan's son, they won't know who the fuck that little kid is.
Right.
They'd be like, you're going to do what we say. Yeah, Michael Jordan's son. I'm not going to do nothing.
Right.
Big old alien hand bitch slap him.
Right. They're going to drop him back off. Yeah. All he did was cry and say something about Michael Jordan.
They're going to backhand him, pow. They're going to say, do you want us to probe your shoe?
There you go. Your Jordans. Whereas if they took us or one of our kids, they'll be like, doing the Saturday Night Live
That's
dance.
right. That's
Who you want me to breed with next?
That's right. No, Johnny Travolta is not going to be on that plane.
Right.
Anyway,
But it's interesting how they pick, and I see it, and we've talked about it off camera, why they pick the humble people, because the humble people are usually, like you said, they're not going to have the chip on their shoulder. They're in it for mankind usually.
That's right. I mean, the humble people just want to fucking go home and eat a tamale or two and maybe a little bit of rice and beans and have maybe 2, 3. You know what? It's Thursday night, maybe Friday night. If I could drink a 6-pack, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Now,
things that we do and take for granted.
Now, but see, going back to the breeding program, now has it been going on longer than we thought? Because we've discussed how the really successful people, they kind of look like aliens.
Right, they do.
Now, and maybe just the more intellect or the more brain capacity that they're given by the interspecies breeding allows them to.
No, I'm going to say between me and you, even before we were born, they had alien hybrids walking among us.
No, I'm with that.
Probably running the country.
Right.
But me and you are here today on this earth, and it's getting exposed more and more.
Right. And it's the same thing. We've had these people running our country, not only our country, our businesses.
Look at some of the people that do run the country and the businesses. Tell me they're not fucking aliens.
And now, a prime example, whether you love them or hate them, we had a president who, I don't know if the elections are whatever you believe. Anyway, he's not the president anymore, but there's still a witch hunt going on. Right? There's still a witch hunt going on.
Well, you know, and I wish you all the best luck.
Right. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, because he wasn't one of the elite.
But here's my thing. Listen, all you listeners out there, you want to run this country, right? Now that marijuana is getting legalized in all the states, we're like 60% legalization nationwide. Clarence Thomas, shout out to you. You tell them motherfuckers how it is.
Right.
Think about your policy and state legalization. For real, you want to correct the injustices? That's how you do it. I called it when I was a teenager, so
right. But now as marijuana is getting legal and the aliens are doing their breeding program,
right?
All I could say is we need more Barry White music.
Well, yeah. Now I'm on board with that, but I'm going back to the legalization because this is my time to shine, and that's fine. Y'all just blew it up, but you know what? It's here. It's there. Don't judge your people by what they do is all I'm saying, because you out there in the workforce, you probably got some damn good people, and now you're going to look at them differently. Don't do it. Let them do their job.
Right. As long as they do their job and they differentiate between on time and off time.
That's all I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. The government's going to have to do that.
Well,
Vince, come on.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is we got a tough road in front of us.
We do, but hey, have we ever been scared of a challenge?
Hell no.
So there you go.
I'm just afraid of a drug test.
So state in New Mexico, me and my brother, we're willing to iron all this shit out.
Yeah, well, let us. We'll do all the legislation. Just leave it up to us.
Get with us, and we'll do a professional technical contract, and
right.
And yeah. No, we'll go to court. Look, your city council statewide and behind the meetings with the legal board of every city may not like us, but we will make our point. We'll be like Joey Tribbiani. How you doing?
Right. Not only are we're gonna hand out marijuana cards, we're gonna hand out alien breeding cards.
That's right. And we want you to come on board that alien breeding project, because that's what this is about. Y'all want to be diverse? LGBTQ, whatever.
Now, we're going to be a whole society of Einsteins if we do that.
No. Like I said, y'all want to be diverse? What is it? LGBTQ.
BBQ.
Whatever. Barbecue. Me and my brother, y'all better add A at the end of that acronym for alien.
Right, because
Right?
we want our time in the sun. We want an alien crosswalk. How about that?
we're-
We want an alien day off.
We're saying that you better do
But
it.
we got a kind of a day, the Alien Festival in Roswell.
Yeah.
But what good is it without a day off?
Well, hey, what-
Hey, and if you have to work during the Roswell Festival, you deserve triple time.
boom. Why can't we demand that you're a part of the alien culture?
Boom, I agree.
LGBTQA.
Hey,
Yay. Anyway, that's what we're saying. Come on now.
now say it, don't hairspray it. Yeah.
That's what we're saying. Anyway, we thank you for listening tonight. Thanks for just hearing us vent.
Yeah, no, it was a good documentary. We started off. We always get off on a tangent.
It
but
was, but we do. But
We're a little excited because we're getting ready to go back out in Squatch territory. We were going to go this weekend, but my brother's daughter's having her birthday, and 4th of July weekend's not a good time because it's so packed, and
it is.
and you can't hear nothing because just you know how it is when you go camping and you got one loud guy next door.
No, and the thing is, seriously, I'm not saying there's going to be fireworks popping off, but the fire restrictions will be lifted because all week we got rain. If
Good
we
rain.
got rain in the city, they got good rain out there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying fire restrictions are lifted. People are out there. They're going to party. They're going to roll the fires. They're going to have their little Bluetooth boom boxes booming. We're not going to get no activity.
Right. That's why we'll just keep our distance for now. Next weekend's a different story.
That's a different story. We'll let you know.
And we will give you the rest of the story.
And if you want to come with us, email me. I'll put you on that camera live.
Yep, that'd be cool.
Yes. All right. So until then, peace.
Peace, and don't be afraid to breed.
Don't